we have a rule in my office. We train every morning at 8:30 because I believe training is not something you did, it's something you do. So we train every morning how to make outbound calls, how to overcome objection, okay? How to go 7 touches in the follow-up, okay? How to service after the sale. Every morning at 8:30 we're training. From 9 to 11 we do nothing but focus on new money. So here's my rule during that period. We cannot deal with anything that happened in the past or occurred in the past during our prospecting times. So let's say I sold a job to you last week. Something comes up during that job. From 9 to 11 we don't deal with that. From 9 to 11 we're solely focused on one thing, generating new money. So you say, where's that new money come from? The new money comes from leads, direct leads. Some of y'all are paying for leads, doing marketing, doing advertising. So leads are coming in and we're calling on those leads. Some of that new money is coming from strategic partnerships. We can call on strategic partnerships during that period. Okay? And I expect everybody I'm in business with to send me business. That means my doctor's sending me business, my lawyer's sending me business, my mortgage person's sending me business, my flooring person's sending me business. I expect all those people to be sending me business because we're strategic partners with each other. They are business partners. You follow me? So I'm calling on those people between 9 and 11. I'm also calling on current clients. Okay? And I'm asking them, who else do we need to be helping? The best time to ask for a referral is when?
Anytime.
Anytime. But you know what? Most people don't ask for referrals. If I was doing a job, here's what I'd say. If this goes well and we expect it to, when it's over, I'm going to want to work with your friends because I believe like gravitates toward like. I start asking for referrals before I even get started. Okay? So we're calling on current clients asking for referrals. We're calling on past clients. We're calling on strategic partners. And we're calling on leads. That's all we call on from 9 to 11 every day. Now, if I was coaching a daycare center and that daycare center wanted to grow, here's what I would say. Do you want to grow and get more kids in here to the daycare center? The answer is going to be yes. Well, who at your shop is in charge of calling on parents and asking them if they're satisfied with the current experience? Who else would they need to be bringing, right? Most daycare centers do not have anybody. Now, a few weeks ago, we're eating at a nice Italian restaurant, but I had dinner with Johnny Carrabba. Johnny Carrabba founded the original Carrabbas, and the original Carrabbas is in Houston, Texas. Founded by a guy named Johnny Carrabba. Incredible experience. Had dinner with him. He sat there when he was done. He signed a book for me. He sent me a personal letter after I finished with his personal cell phone in there. He sent my wife a book. Okay? Now, that is service. The service I got in there, as they walked around, they took every person's name. So throughout the whole night, he called me by name. He called you by name. And he said, when you ever come back to Carrabba's in Houston, I want to make sure I serve you. Here's my name. Okay? Now, so Johnny calls me after the experience, or we're talking, and here's what I said. What could he have done better? Because Carrabba's turned out to work out pretty good for him. You know what I'm saying? Because there's like 240 of those things. What could he have done better? Here's what I would tell Johnny Carrabba. Nobody from the restaurant called me once I left. Nobody invited me back again. Nobody said, can we go ahead and make sure you have a spot next time you come to Houston, because I go to Houston every month. Which of your friends would you like to bring with you to the restaurant? Does that make sense? What happens is we get so busy running our business that we don't focus on new money. We don't focus on new money. So what we're doing is we're servicing our current clients, and we'll use all these excuses. We're already busy. We can't handle all the demand. Here's my saying. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. I was coaching people in 08. You know who I was coaching in 08? Home builders. Those same home builders in 04 were selling 700, 800 homes a year, 40 a week. They were so overwhelmed with business, they was handing out $600,000 bonuses to everybody. They was buying private airplanes. In 08, you know how many houses they were selling? 4 a week. I had to get them out of bed. I had to keep them motivated. I had to keep them from going depressed. I had to keep them going bankrupt. So my saying is, I don't care how much money you make or how much business you have. There comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. You go to bed tired and you wake up hungry. You go to bed broke and you wake up hungry every day. You go to bed, right? That's the mindset you have to have. Scrappy, hardcore. So I want you thinking as I speak to you today, I want you thinking about these things. We're looking at your business. Everybody in here is a salesperson, right? Okay, so let me ask you this. How many people can say that they're not prospecting 2 hours a day, but they need to? Everybody, right? New money, new money, new money, new money. People ask me, why do I prospect in the mornings? Studies show people are more friendly in the mornings. They're more open. They're more receptive in the mornings. Do I get everybody in the morning between 9 and 11? No, I don't, but that don't mean I don't call them. That make sense? Now, what if I'm going from job to job? Because we're coaching people who are out there on jobs, restoration, roofing companies, out there on a roof, and they say, Coach, it's 100 degrees out here, and I'm on roofs all day long. Here's what I said. Did you walk to that job site, or did you drive to the job site? Because if you drove and you got a phone that makes outbound phone calls, what could you be doing on the trip? Instead of listening to the radio or playing on Facebook, you could be calling on a current client. You could be calling on a past client. You see what I'm saying? So my goal is to get you prospecting in a forward posture. Now, I spent a decade as a women's basketball coach, which is why you see this big gaudy ring on my right finger. And I had a couple rules when I was a coach. We're going to play offense all 32 minutes. We're just going to shove it down your throat so hard and so fast and so much that you're going to wear down. In essence, you know what we're going to do? We're going to break your spirit. We're going to just crush your spirit when we're doing this. Now, do you know what we had to do that? We had to condition like crazy. So I was the first women's basketball coach in 1999 to hire a full-time strength and conditioning coach. And I said, I want these girls to lift just like our football team does. I want them bigger, faster, stronger. And we would start this very intense off-season conditioning program. So when we got into the season, we could just run circles around people because we're in better shape, we're stronger, we're faster, we're more conditioned. Because here's what I said, we're going to come at people as hard as we can for 32 straight minutes. They're going to play with us for a little while and then they're going to get tired. And when they get tired, the game's over. See what I'm saying? I want to play offense the whole time. I mean, I just want to keep coming at people. So after I won championships at Riverdale, I retired because I started writing books and business people started asking me to speak to their businesses. And I'd go out and I'd start coaching businesses and I'd say, well, show me all the ways you get customers. And what do you think people would say? I said, boy, it's a good question, Coach. How do we get customers? Well, we get a few referrals, and we do a little networking, and we do a little marketing, and I'm like, no. How do you come in every day and play offense? Like, how do you come in every day and get aggressive with how you attack a day versus have that day attack you? Okay, one of my rules was we want to get the ball to the midline in 2.3 seconds. So we actually practiced when the other team scored, how we took it out of the net, how we pivoted, how we hit a guard on the run, and how that guard caught it and pitched it ahead so that we could be at the midline in less than 3 seconds. Now, if you're playing against me, you know what you're constantly doing? Getting back. Because I'm just coming at you and coming at you. Well, then, when I started my business, I said, what's my version of that? Like, how do I just attack a day versus have that day attack me? So I come into every day with a few things. I want you thinking about these things and where your missing structures could be. I come in to every day with a hit list of people I'm going to call on that I believe I can help with my services. These are direct, what I call suspects. They're not prospects yet because I haven't talked to them and I haven't qualified them. You follow what I'm saying? But I start the day and I typically have 3 to 5 people on my hit list of people I believe I would like to work with. Okay? You say, well, do you cold call people? This morning I did. There was a big conference I wanted to speak at. I noticed some of the other speakers they'd use. I found the main person, picked up the phone, called them, said, hey, this is Coach Burt. I don't know if you know who I am, but I know who you are. I see we're using some of these big speakers. I spoke at a big conference with them a few weeks ago. I'd love to talk to you about me coming and speaking at the conference to see how I can create some significant value for you. So is there times I cold call people? Yes. But most of the time, my hit list are warm leads of people that I have generated or got in front of at some point in the past, and I'm trying to do this. But every day I have 3 to 5 I'm calling on. Every single day I got a hit list of people I'm calling on. Strategic partners, biggest clients, past clients, current clients for referrals, okay? So I come into every day with a hit list, okay? Most people come into the day and do what? What do? They get to the office and they do what? Boy, I sure do hope that phone rings. Hope somebody needs some new flooring. Hope somebody calls us. See, I'm telling you, this is from a guy coaching 1,000 people a month. This is how most people go about their day. They got no plan, no strategy, no nothing, no attack. It's all defense, right? It's pure defensive posture, okay? I just left a mortgage company speaking to them. Here's what I would say. Never allow another person to stand between you and your destiny. When you put your destiny in somebody else's hands, they may or may not call, may or may not work. Every day I got to take control of that for me and my family. So I start every day off with a hit list, and then I start every day off with a farm club. Now, how many people have indicated interest in your services, but you haven't closed them? How much money is that worth to you? I want you to think about this. How much money is that worth to you that you've got in your farm club right now of people who have indicated interest in your services but you haven't closed? Now, let me give you some stats. 67% of people use the very first person that contacts them. They don't use the best one, the most experienced one. Which one do they use? The first one. But you know the number one complaint I hear about people is we can't get people on the phone. Can't get them on the phone. Number one complaint I hear, okay? Most transactions should be worth 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the consumer. in almost any industry. Just say 4 to 6, let's say, right? It typically takes 7 to 15 touches 80% of the time to convert a prospect to a client. Okay, now what I say is I start looking at a business and I go, here's what I say. We're not calling people back fast enough. We're not going 7 to 15 touches. And we don't have any service after the sale. 98% of people never call a customer back once they do a job for them. And that's pretty much across a lot of industries. Now, if I told you we could pick up a significant bump for your business, could we pick it up in one of those areas right there? Yep. Okay, I want you to think about this. Because my farm club consists of people who have indicated interest in my services, but I haven't closed them. Now, I want to show you what I mean. I created this planner because there was no planners tied to a selling system. This is around my coaching program called Monster Producer. What I basically do is I come into the day and I map out the day. And it would look like this. So this is a typical day for me. Okay? Days typically start 5:30. Typically work till 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Everything is time blocked on one side for my meetings. This is where all the money is. So I come into the day, I've got my 3 high value activities. These are the highest use of my time for today. Here's my deal. I can't go home till I get those 3 things done. These are the 3 biggest things I got to do today to move my ball down the field. Then I move to my hit list, my key targets. Then I move to my farm club. These are people that have indicated interest in my services, but we haven't closed them. Everybody see that? We're going 7 to 15 touches in the follow-up with these people. These are my top 25 touches. So these are 3 of my top biggest advocates. And I'm trying to love on my biggest advocates because one of my strategies is to take my top 25 clients, multiply that into 75 new opportunities per year. So if you're one of my top 25 clients, I spend more time with you. We do special retreats for you. We do private events for you. You know what I'm saying? You can travel with me on the bus. You can travel with me on my airplane if that's what you want to do. If you're in that top 25, I spend a lot of special time with those people because that's where all the money's made. Everybody see that? Now, when I come into a day, then I've got new customers I signed up because we want to make it a good experience for them so they quickly become a net promoter. And then I've got push till tomorrow. So at the end of the day, I'll sit down and I'll map out and I say, I didn't get these 3 things done. These are 2 big things I need to push till tomorrow. And I typically spend 7 to 15 minutes a night mapping this out. So every day I come into the day, right? Let's say I'm calling on you, but I didn't get you. You come right back to the hit list again. Everybody see that? Once I make contact with you, explain our services, you say I'm interested, but I'm not ready to buy, you go straight to my farm club. We're going to go 7 touches in that farm club. Now, let me tackle that for a second, because how do most people follow up? I wrote a book on this called $1 Million Follow-Up because people follow up so poorly. This is one of the number 1 areas people fall off the wagon. Most people do not go the distance in the follow-up, so they go 1 or 2 touches. Most people do not have the correct methodology. So what do most people do when they follow up? They ask very bad questions like what? Like, do you have any questions?
Have you made a decision yet?
Have you made a decision? Are you ready to go? I had one person say, I woke up thinking about you this morning. That's creepy, man. You don't need to tell people you woke up thinking about them, okay? I had one person say, I'm just doing my due diligence, following up with you. I see how people follow up with me, and they typically go 1 or 2 touches and they fall off the wagon. If I make up my mind that I'm going to pursue you, I'm going to go 7 touches. It's not the same touch every time. I'm going to use a video, a phone call, a text message, an email. I may have my best customer call you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to hit you with 2 types of touches. Linear, which means I come right at you. I may say, Zach, we can have this conversation today, or we can have it 6 months from now, brother. But you and I both know nothing's going to change unless we change it. Right? That's a direct hit. Have you seen enough to make a decision? Seems like you want to do this, but you're stuck on one thing. Am I right about that one thing? And what I'll do is I'll get him to tell me what the problem is, what the holdup is. And I may say something like this, I can't help you until you commit, but Zach, I'm not going to let you fail. Once you commit, I'm not going to let you fail. See what I'm saying? I'll push him a little bit. That's a direct touch. A non-direct touch would be, Zach, let me show you 3 jobs we've just done, and let me show you 3 testimonials of people that were completely happy with that job. Take a look at these and let's talk by tomorrow afternoon. See how that was a soft touch? So I want you to think of the follow-up like boxing. I jab, I jab, I jab, and then I hook. Everybody see that? So I go 3 nonlinear touches to 1 linear. Then I get to 7 touches, and when I get to 7, here's what I say. Zach, if you notice how hard we worked to earn your business, is there any other flooring company who ever worked this hard? And he says, no, my God, they never even called me back. You know what I say? You and I believe the same things. We believe in hard work. We believe in doing a great job, right? We believe in leaving something better than we found it. Seems like you want to do this, Zach, but you're stuck on one thing. What's stopping you? Have you noticed how hard we work to earn this business? And if he tells me your price is 2 times higher than other things, now I've got an objection. And when I hear an objection, I pivot to a formula. And my formula is I listen, I acknowledge, I isolate, I validate, and I challenge him. So I go, Zach, is there any other reason? I understand we're 2 times higher than anybody else. Zach, is there any other reason outside of the price that would keep you from moving forward with us? No, it's just the price. Well, let me ask you this question, Zach. Are there times that you eat at nice restaurants because the food's better and you pay a little bit more money for those restaurants? See, I believe you can dine on 99-cent hamburgers, you could dine on filet mignon steaks, but you always get what you pay for. Now, I believe, Zach, price is a proxy for premium, and price only becomes an issue in the absence of value. And the only reason you haven't taken action with me because I've done a poor job of explaining our value, because if I had done a good job of explaining our value, you wouldn't mind that we're a little bit more expensive than other people. Right? Now, do you think I can take that objection and turn him into a sale? Yes or no? I listened to his objection. I acknowledged his objection. I isolated his objection. I've tried to validate his objection. I understand. It is a little bit more money. And then I reframed him. I challenged him. Listen, if it's all about the price, you're right. You could get it cheaper somewhere else. But typically, that's why I always say I believe price is a proxy for premium. I believe sometimes the more money you pay, the better service you get. And we're evidence of this when we go out to restaurants and we pay more money to eat good food and get good service than when we don't. So what I do is I've got an objection, I overcome that objection. So let me ask you this question. If you're a salesperson, should you be trained in overcoming these objections? Yes or no? Yeah, training's not something you did, it's something you do every day. So when I come into a day, when I'm hitting those follow-ups, I'm going to get objection. Timing's not right, got to talk to my wife, got to talk to my husband. Okay? Not ready, don't have enough money, need to think about it. Need to meditate on it, need to medicate about it. Whatever you got, there's always some kind of something, right? I've heard it all when it comes to excuses, and I say, hey, let's just call it what it is, okay? It's just an excuse, man. You're not ready to go. You told me you're ready to go. I brought you what you wanted. You're not ready for some reason. I don't have the money. Here's what I say. All the more reason you need to coach him. Because if you ain't got enough money to afford the coaching program, that shows me you got a problem in generating sales. You need a good coach in your life. I guarantee you that you know the difference between an asset and a liability. A liability is taking money out of your pocket, and assets add money to your pocket. I guarantee I could find some money in your budget you're spending on something that you're not getting a return on. And let's put it into something that teach you how to sell at a higher level. You see what I'm saying? There's no objection you could give me that I ain't ready for. I believe in a concept called biblical meditation. Biblical meditation is where you meditate on the Word of God, you read the Bible, then when you have thoughts throughout the day that are negative thoughts, or some would say the devilish thoughts, you know what you do? You replace that thought with a positive thought. The only way to do that is if you have meditated on the Word enough so that when you have negative thoughts, you can replace a negative with a positive. Everybody see what I'm talking about? Now, how does that apply to sales? I've meditated on every objection you can give me. Too old to get started, I'm too young to get started. I won't get my people on board, can't get my people on board. It's too much. You see what I'm saying? Timing's not right. Whatever objection you had, I've thought through. I've practiced. I'm ready for it. Now, if I can't convert you when you give me a slight objection, then maybe you're not a good fit for us. That makes sense? So during my day, who am I calling on? My hit list, which represents what? My hit list represents my new money. And I got 3 to 5 of those every day. I'm calling on new people. You follow what I'm saying? I've got my farm club every day. My farm club represents what? People, not yet. You're close. People who have indicated interest, but I haven't closed them. How many touches am I going? 7 to 15. And I'm doing what? Linear, right? Linear, non-linear. Then I've got my top 25, which is what you're talking about. Those are my 25 biggest influencers, and I'm loving on 2 or 3 of those a day. Because that's where our big referral source could be. So take all your customers that you've got. I got a health and wellness center I coach in Houston, Texas. 31,000 people have been through that health and wellness center. 31,000 people. Here's what I said. Surely to goodness we can find 100 that love you. Let's figure out those 100. Let's have events for those 100. Let's spend time with those 100. Let's contact those 100. Let's get those 100 more time with the physician, the main doctor. And let's see if we can't, they don't bring us two people apiece. That's 300 more referrals a year. We don't need all 31,000 to come back. We just need 100 of them to go tell some people. Everybody with me? So we created events for them to come to. We created a new way to touch them on a consistent basis. We created new things to try to generate that out of those people. So out of my 600 clients, here's what the numbers tell me. Roughly for every 350 people you have, 350 clients, 52.8 of those are on board with you. 16%. For every 500 clients or 600 clients I have, roughly 100 to 120 people are solely on board. Now, if you were coaching me, would you tell me to spend time with those 120 people or with everybody? That's right. What if I had clients that paid this? Because we have 3 levels. I got a $499 a month level. I got a $2,083 a month level. I got a $3,333 month level. They're different levels. They get different things. If I had 25, let's say 40 people paying $25,000 a year to be coaching, that's $1 million of revenue, and I got 300 people paying $499 a month, which one would you tell me to spend time with?
3,000.
That's right. You know why? It's important. Like gravitates toward like. Those people have the highest referral capacity, and they hang around other people who have money. You see what I'm saying? So they can multiply faster. So when you're thinking about spending that top 25, I don't know who your top 25 is. Is it strategic partners? Because you could have some of those in your T25. Is it past clients? Who is in your top 25, and do you have a top 25? And if I was in your top 25, what do I get? Do I get more time with you? Do I get special events? You know, we're doing a big event for our top 25. Lee Bryce is singing, so I bring in a major country music singer every year. Last year it was Randy Houser. We partner with 2 or 3 people, and instead of doing a little customer appreciation event with a few people, we do one with 500 people. Rent out a big, beautiful barn, have a big concert, let everybody have fun. I invite my 50 top clients. You invite your 50 top clients. You invite your 50 top clients. We get 500 people together for a big event versus a little event. Does that make sense? I'm constantly doing things like that for my top people. I do a private retreat every year for my top 25 members. I go down to Seaside, Florida. I rent 3 or 4 houses. We all stay down there for 3 days. And it's free to them. Anybody that's in my top 25 gets special things. Does that make sense? My goal is to multiply that level by giving them more attention. Now, when I come into the day, I got a hit list, I got a farm club, I got a top 25, okay? I also use social media, database, events like this. I use anything that I can to get my message out to the market to try to multiply, okay? Now, when you're looking at your business, where do you see the biggest missing structure right now? When you're looking at this whole business, because a lot of people are not having dedicated prospecting times, they're not working a selling system, they're not intentional about their growth. Does that make sense? And they know they need to be, but they're not, right? It's like, I know I need to be prospecting, but we don't prospect. I know I need to be calling on current clients and asking for referrals, but I don't. We got to play a long game versus a short game. So tell me where you feel like you're missing right now in your business. What's your biggest missing structures?
Managing time.
Okay.
Follow-up prospecting.
Let's take the managing time, for example. Confusion is a problem that appears to have no immediate solution to it. Time management seems like a problem, but here's what I would tell you. What I've done is I've gotten clear with my team about what our priorities are. And I've said we're going to train every morning at 8:30, and we're going to prospect from 9 to 11. So there's no confusion. That make sense? Now, if we're doing an event at 9 to 11 and we can't prospect, then we're going to prospect in the afternoons. But what I'm trying to do is eliminate this confusion about what people should be doing. We service issues in the afternoon. We service client issues in the afternoon. But my goal is to have 2 hours of good prospecting every day so there's no confusion about what's a priority. What's a priority is to generate some new money. Okay, there's only 3 things I should be doing. Prospecting for new money every day, getting my current clients to a much better place for referrals, right? Really delivering. And number 3, promotion in my business. There needs to be a sales cycle. There needs to be a promotion cycle. I just left Churchill Mortgage, and I've been coaching them for 3 or 4 years now. And one of their philosophies is to deliver a loan on time or early with little or no stress. How do we deliver a loan to our customers on time or early with little or no stress? Okay? And everything we do works backward from that. That's the promise we make. Okay? Now, here's the deal. All we got to do is fulfill that promise. We fulfill that promise on time or early with little or no stress. There should be referrals. How many referrals? Should be 5.7 referrals over the lifetime of the consumer. If the average person buys 4 to 6 houses in their lifetime, we should get all 4 to 6 of those houses plus 5 referrals off every deal if we do it right. But if we don't engage with them, what's the likelihood of them referring? So I want you to think about you. After you do a job for somebody, do you have a follow-up system? Because what do I want? I want those 6 deals. Everybody follow what I'm saying? I want those 6 additional referrals. And the only way that's going to happen is if we build a relationship with each other and I follow up with you after the sale. Okay? So I look at any business, retail, doesn't matter. If there's a sales component to it, we got to dedicate time and we have to be relentless with trying to get referrals. I am constantly calling on people saying, hey, who can you bring with you? Who else do we need to speak to? How do we need to do this, okay? I only get paid on about 20% of what I do. I do 80% of what I do for free. Doing this event right now for you for free, okay? I only get paid on 20%. The 20% I make has got to be enough money to make up for the 80% stuff I do free. Does that make sense? But the stuff I'm doing for free, the stuff I do for free is stuff that I think will generate business. I flew to Michigan last week, spoke on my dime, flew on my own airplane, paid all the gas. It's expensive. It cost me $7,000 or $8,000 to fly up there. But guess what I did? I took 4 of my best customers with me. 2 of those customers want to invest some money with me, and they want to do 2 or 3 other things with me. So was it a wasted trip? No, because I find a way to take a liability and make it into an asset. I find a way to take every liability and turn it into an asset, okay? So for you, you got to constantly be thinking about how do we get in this forward posture. If you ask me today, what is my life about at 41 years old? What is my life's mission? Is to move people to an offensive mobility in their life. To get people out of a defensive state in their life and a defensive posture and get on offense. You follow what I'm saying? And I just see too many people that say, oh yeah, that's good, but I won't do it. So what are you going to commit to doing when you leave here today? Let's get some commitment. This is a Vince Lombardi moment, by the way. You know what? We know what I loved about Lombardi as a coach? Because I studied all the coaches as a young coach. And if you don't know my story, I was coaching at Riverdale at 19 years old. Riverdale is the 2nd largest high school in Tennessee. I was there as an assistant coach from 19 to 21. 22, I became the head coach. And over the next 10 years, tried to build this powerhouse. And we did build a powerhouse. And it was girls basketball. Riverdale has now won 7 of the last 9 state championships in the state of Tennessee. It is a force to be reckoned with, okay? It was not like that when I got there at 19. It was 30 years of bad basketball, you know, very mediocre results, some winning seasons, some losing seasons. What I tried to do is build something very, very powerful and build something that would last much longer than me, okay? And so I'm very proud of that. Now, when I started coaching business people, it was unintentional. I just started writing books about how we were winning so many games. And people started asking me, come speak to my team. And then they'd say, well, how much would it cost for you to coach my team? And then I said, well, I'm coaching kids. I don't want to coach adults. And then it just kept getting more frequent and more frequent until finally at 31, I retired to do nothing for the last 10 years but coach businesses. And those are small entrepreneurial businesses, sales teams, all the way up to multi-billion-dollar companies. You know, everybody has the same problems. Would you agree? Everybody struggles with follow-up. Everybody struggles with service after the sale. Everybody struggles with prospecting 2 hours a day. Everybody struggles with time management. It does not matter where I am in the country. These are universal issues. So now I write books to solve those problems. Now I build coaching programs to solve those problems, okay? So Lombardi, every day at practice, can you imagine? He would make 70 grown men stand up and get in a single file line, and he would say one thing: if you're not 100% committed, don't step across the line. Every day before practice, every player had to step across the line. Symbolic of committing. Isn't that incredible? Can you imagine you showing up at work tomorrow and lining all your people up and say, don't step across the line? Half of them wouldn't step across the line, would they? They'd be like, I ain't stepping across that line. So what's our commitment when we leave here today? We got some good food. We got a big old thing of chocolate pie. What else are we, okay? We're going to do extra exercise. What's our commitment? Let's go around the room. What are you committed to do from today?
Well, I'm going to have more structured prospecting time.
Okay, good.
Sure.
Is it going to be 9 to 11, 1 to 3?
Yeah, something similar to that. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Now, why is that important?
We need new business.
That's right. New money. New money, new money. I don't care how much money you're making. I don't care how much profit you have. I'm telling you, there comes a time when winter asks what you did all spring and summer. No matter what it is, it ain't enough. Okay? You need to go to bed tired and wake up hungry every day. You need to go to bed broke every day and start over. That's why new money's important, okay? What about you?
We'll ask for people to step across the line.
There you go. Good.
And I'm also going to find out who your pharmacist is.
That's good. That's good. You want to know what kind of medicine I'm on?
Yes, I do.
No, well, this is a good question. You think I'm on drugs? Is that what you're saying?
That's good, bro.
Now, here's what I'm saying. This is a good point. I go to Hotze Health and Wellness Center in Houston, Texas, and what I do is I go there for them to get my body at the highest optimal level I can get it to. And when I went to there, you go through a series of tests and they find out where you're high and where you're low. I personally was low on thyroid. I was low on testosterone. I was low on certain things, and all those things affect your ability to go out and do something in the world. Does that make sense? So what they do is they compound these supplements, and every morning I take certain things. I take thyroid, I take testosterone, I take energy, certain energy things, and they put these into pills that are compounded there at their lab, and every morning I'm on a regimen. What that does is it gives me more energy, gives me more focus, gives me more mental clarity, and more than anything, I have a 5-year-old daughter, so when I get home at night, I want to have enough energy for her. So that's what they do to get my mojo going, okay? But there is something happening, but that's right. Okay? What about you, sir?
I'm going to ask my daddy if he wants.
Okay, good. I love it. I've seen you two before, I believe. Go ahead.
Prospect and follow-up.
Okay, good. 7 touches in the follow-up, man. I'm telling you. Even if you don't get the business, even if they go with somebody else, you need to say, hey, I know you didn't go with us this time. Maybe it works out. I hope it does. But if it don't, we're here. I'm telling you, I have very seldom been called on ever in my life on anything as it relates to flooring. Ever. Now, why would you call on me at some point? Because at some point I may have floor needs. You never know. Yeah, okay? At some point I may have opportunity. And even if I don't, I talk to a lot of people in a week. Follow what I'm getting at? So just remember, offensive people are calling on people. Like I lived in Murfreesboro for 21 years. I tell people, I know how people in Nashville look at Murfreesboro. I tell people I live on the Franklin side of Murfreesboro. I live on 96. Because people in Nashville look down on Murfreesboro people. But here's the deal. I tell people all the time, I've lived in that area for 21 years. I very seldom have had a real estate agent call on me. I only had one banker. All my years of living there call on me. One bank. There's a bank on every corner. I'm out in the public all the time. When I was a coach, I was in the newspaper every week. No banker ever called on me and said, I'd like to earn your business. Okay? So this is a foreign concept. No real estate agents, no mortgage people. It's like they don't call on people. If I'm in the flooring business, I'm calling on people. Even if I can help you or not, I'm calling on people. I'm going to try to earn your business. And if I can't help you today, maybe I'll help you next week. That's the kind of prospecting I'm talking about. Not just with the people that come to you, but it's a big world out there, guys. I mentioned going to Houston every month. There's 6 million people in Houston. You know what I love about going to Houston every month? I see opportunity. I come back to Nashville, I'm like, oh my gosh, man, there's so much opportunity here. Everywhere I go, there's opportunity. We're not calling on it, okay? What about you?
3 to 5 suspects.
Okay, every day. That's right. And they're not a prospect until you have a conversation. They may be crazy. You may not want to work with them. So I call on people every day, 3 to 5. That's my hit list. Okay, good. Zach, what about you?
Much better follow-up with existing customers,
Right.
projects, as well as dedicating some time.
That's right.
2 hours.
Every day. How about follow-up after the sale? Is that follow-up too?
Yes.
After the sale, listen, we're not interested in just one deal, guys. We've got to get interested in 3, 4, 5 deals, okay? All right, keep going.
For me, follow up after the completion, definitely.
It's good.
What I'm gonna put more
It's good.
energy into.
You know, my current real estate agent that I use calls me every day. And takes me to breakfast every Saturday morning. And he may see where I'm at somewhere in the world, and he'll just call me and say, hey, what's going on? I noticed you're in Michigan. What did you learn up there? He's just engaging with me. He's engaged. You say, is that too much? No. I don't have to answer the phone. But my point is, he's just constantly, now he does that with 25 people. So he has breakfast every morning with a group of people that all use him. Then he gets on the phone for a couple of hours. Then he has lunch with a group of people who could use him. Then in the afternoon, you see what I'm saying? He's not working thousands of people. He's really working 25 strong people. And those 25 people are referring and sending people to him and doing more real estate deals. That's his mindset. Let me get 25 great people and just work that. I don't think you can work 400 or 500 people. I think you can go deep with 25 people. That's why I like that top 25 concept. So when you do a client job, after the experience, you may say, man, these people were really cool. I love working with them. They appreciated us. They valued us. They paid us what we were worth. These kind of people I'm looking for. Here's what I know. Those people run around with other people like them. Everybody agree? Like gravitates toward like. Your best clients will send you other great clients if you just spend more time with them. So I think service after the sale is a big one, okay? What about you, big guy?
An offensive game plan of winter is coming.
Anytime you feel people getting lazy,
Yep.
anytime you feel people getting complacent, remind them of that saying. There comes a time, as a coach, I said championships are won in the off season. They're never won during the season. We win championships when we're preparing. Then we perform during the season, okay? So every year we had this tremendous off season that prepared us for the season. So I always said there's going to come a time when winter asks what we did all spring and summer, because that's when basketball season is in the winter. You know what I'm saying? I've never forgotten that. Okay? Go ahead.
Uplift people,
Good.
follow up, get that new money.
It's good. It's good. And bring good energy. Like you said, uplift people. Bring good energy to the table. People want to do business with other people that bring good energy. Okay? They got a lot of choices today. Okay? So that's good.
Training for objections.
That's good. If you get, especially a lot of people get the same objection. I use a formula when I get objections. Like I said, I listen, I listen, I listen, I acknowledge. So no matter what they say, I agree with them. Gosh, this is expensive. I go, you're right, it is expensive. Man, this is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I don't care what they say, I agree with them. Then I say, is there any other reason outside of this one thing that's keeping you from moving forward with me? And they tell, because I'm trying to see if they're telling the truth or not. And they say, no, that's just this one thing. Well, if I could show you, would you be open to looking at it this way or this way or this way? Okay? And I try to reframe them. I'm like, you're focused on the wrong number. Like I coach a lot of real estate agents. And here's what I say to them. If I could get you 5 more deals, what would that be worth to you? And I force them to tell me. Well, that'd be worth $25,000 more dollars. Okay. What we're talking about is $499 a month. If you could invest $499 a month and I could get you back $25,000 more, would you do it? Yes or no? See what I'm saying? What I do is I sell results. I sell results. The results are going to pay for all your coaching. We don't even be talking about $499. It don't matter. What does it matter what they pay Nick Saban if he brings them $100 million a year? It don't matter. Okay? What does it matter? We put the floor in and we do it right. What's it matter if you pay a few more dollars for it? I'm in a club for my dry cleaning because I wear a lot of suits. A dry cleaning company came to me, said, we want you to be in the presidential level. We want you to be the first person in our presidential level of our dry cleaning services. And I said, well, what does that look like? Because I know it looks like, it's what? What do you think I know it means? No, it's going to be more expensive.
Right.
I said, what does me being in the presidential level get me? You know what they said? Whatever you want. Okay? Here's what I want. Here's what I said. I never, ever, for the rest of my life that you service me, want any type of plastic on my clothes. I don't want any little staples. I want you to put my clothes in my closet in color-coordinated order. Okay? I want you to put my pants on certain hangers that I can get off with the maximum amount of speed. I want to put certain things on certain hangers so I can travel with them and they don't get wrinkled. Okay? I want to be able to call you and tell you I want to wear the same suit I'm wearing today tomorrow and I need you to come pick it up this afternoon and clean it. Can you do all those things for me? You know what they said? Yes, sir. That's what the presidential level is. Does that make sense? So they come to my house, they put it all in my closet, they put it color coordinated the way I want it, they put certain suits on certain things, so I can just take it straight off and put them on. They take all that crap off of it that all your other dry cleaners give you. Does that make sense? How much do I pay for that? I don't even know. It don't matter to me. Maybe a couple extra dollars a garment? I don't know. I don't care. You know why? When I go out to my closet, clothes are ready to go. Last week I was getting ready to go on a 7-day road trip. I said, look, I need to wear some of the same suits. I need to take them with me next week because they're my favorite suits. No problems. We'll come out there today and get it, have it back at your house tomorrow before you get on that airplane. That's presidential level service. Now, my point to you is this. Everybody needs their own presidential level. Would you agree? Higher level service, more frequency, more touching. Those are big time people. They don't care what it costs. They just want it done right. Those are the kind of people we're looking for. Okay? What about you?
I'm going to work on follow-up as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Was it your farm team?
Farm club?
Yeah, touch 7 times.
7 times. Don't touch people the same way. Don't just email them.
Yeah.
Had one insurance guy call me every Monday morning at 7:58, try to sell me life insurance. Same pitch. Excuse me, call me at 8 o'clock every Monday morning with the same pitch. One Monday, I tricked him and I called him at 7:58. And I'm like, I know you're about to call me with the crappy pitch, same pitch you had all the time. I'm not buying life insurance from you. I only do business with people in my coaching program. You're not in there. So if you want me to even consider it, you need to get in the coaching program. But you need to learn how to follow up. Because you call every Monday with the same pitiful follow-up. You know what I'm saying? So don't follow up. I email, phone call, text message. You understand what I'm saying? Video. I use as many different follow-up mechanisms as I can. I do not use the same follow-up. You know, we got Jack following with me, and we do documentary-style videos, and he may cut 15 hours of content, and he cut it up into little short segments, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We'll use that in the follow-up. If I'm following up with a person, I'll be like, look, I spoke at Maggiano's in Nashville. I spoke on this topic on the selling system. Take 15 minutes and watch this video. I mean, I will use any follow-up mechanism I have to. What we're doing is we're trading attention. We're day trading for attention. Okay, I can have your attention and lose your attention by this afternoon, right? So I got to be creative in my follow-up. All right, what about you?
Mine is to fine-tune my monster selling book.
Okay, good.
My monster
You
selling
got your own little selling book, yeah.
But it's top 25,
Okay.
house, things like that.
Good.
So,
Get in a rhythm, man.
Yeah.
Life happens in a rhythm. Heart beats in a rhythm. You need to have a rhythm to your days, not random and sporadic, okay? You three, and then we'll get you out of here.
Top 25 and
Okay,
follow.
good. All right, thank you.
Transpose my notes, sit down with the president of the company and talk about how we can retool my position to include client follow-up, residential client follow-up.
Good, that's good. Talk to him about hiring me too as a business coach. Put that in your notes.
I like to hit list and touches.
Okay, good. Now, did we move you from a defensive posture to an offensive mobility, yes or no? Now, when you leave here, I'm not going with you. Okay? You got to go do this. Like, I can't tell you how many people I coach that they tell me, I'm going to go prospect for 2 hours, and then they don't do it. Nothing happens until you do it, okay? All right, let me close by saying this. I have a big coaching program. That program meets every month. I'm coaching about 600 people. Most of those people are sales professionals, entrepreneurs, small business owners. That program is called Monster Producer. It meets in Cool Springs once a month, this Thursday from 9:30 to 11. There's about 100 people in there. It is a dynamic environment of like-minded achievers. Then it meets in Murfreesboro 3 times a month. Okay, then I go to Knoxville, Chattanooga, and Houston, and I do the same program for a whole month. Okay, and I just coach on one concept. This month, I'm breaking down the whole selling system. How do you attack a day? How do you work the complete selling system? How do you follow up? Last month, I did how to build long-term loyalty with your clients. The month before that, I did how to get 5.7 referrals from every transaction. The month before that, I did how to ask without consideration, how to ask for the sale without ever being scared or have any insecurity at all about asking for a sale. So month after month after month, I'm coaching people. So if you're interested in coming and sitting in on that, I'm not trying to sell you into the program, but what I'll do is let you come and experience it one time for free. And if you want to come sit in on it, see if you like it, see if you like my coaching style, I just think left to our own devices, guys, we all contract and retreat. We need a coach in our life if we're going to produce at the highest levels. And whoever's coaching you, you need to have an affinity with them. That means you need to believe in them. You need to believe in their message and what they're trying to do. So what I do every month is I push and challenge people, but I give them structure, process, systems. So if you're interested in coming and experiencing that, just make sure at the end you give me your business card. Say, look, I'd like to come sit in on it. Now, what else? What's the additional benefit for that? If you've ever been in a BNI group, this is like BNI on steroids. The amount of money that's being exchanged in my network is ridiculous. We're not talking about a few $100,000. We're talking about millions of dollars of business that is being had in there. So what would I tell you is there's 600 other people you could be getting business from in there if you get in there and do it right, right? You could be in there exchanging. We got real estate agents, mortgage originators, insurance people, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, daycare centers, Napa auto parts owners. I mean, we got all kinds of people in there. But they're all in there. The common denominator is they all want to grow. They all want to get better. They all want to expand. So my goal is a 43% increase in 1 year. You get in and do what I'm telling you to do, that's the kind of lift you should be getting. And if you're not, something ain't working the way. So if you're interested in that, just come up and see me at the end. Say I would like to get a spot in one of your upcoming sessions. If you can't get in this month, we'll get you in next month, no big deal. But every month we're coaching people, okay? I believe everybody needs a good coach in their life. Thank you guys for having me. Hope it's good for you. Thank you.